Okay, good morning. Hopefully you got yourself registered and you're ready to go with this course. This is our little introduction to Module 1. In this module you'll find chapters 1 and 2 along with a learning assignment for each one of those, or a learning exercise. And you should practice and take the tutorial for learning exercises if you haven't done that. It is available on your menu. There's three little top bars at the top of your screen. If you open that, you can go to Help, and in the Help it will give you a tutorial. So these are very useful things to learn to navigate the Connect system. Also included in this is an assignment in Module 1, and all of these things have due dates, so please pay attention to what those due dates are. So in Chapter 1 we're really talking about what is strategy. And to be perfectly simple about this, strategy is really nothing other than a plan. It sounds simple enough, but in actuality, developing the plan is actually a very long and difficult process. And the most important part of this plan is implementation. Most companies spend most of their time developing the plan, not implementing and executing the plan. The longer it takes us to do the strategic plan, the less time we have for implementing it correctly and most of all executing it. That's how we profit from our strategic plan. Strategic plans are very alive documents. No sooner do we put a strategic plan in place than we immediately start changing it, because the reality is that the world, and particularly the business world and the technology world, changes very quickly. This forces us to do rapid updates on an ongoing basis to a strategic plan. Strategic plans are done long-term and short-term. We're concerned about the next year, but we're also concerned about the next 3 to 5 years, because some things, such as building infrastructure, plants and equipment and factories and distribution networks, takes a longer time period. So there's always a short-term and a long-term aspect to strategy. So the component of strategy is the company's business model. To make it very simple, a business model is basically the structure of the company and how it intends on making money. If you are a restaurant, your business model is fairly simple. You are going to try to produce a menu of product, food that people like, and have people show up and eat your meals and pay you money. Your business model means that your wage expense and your materials, your food expense and your beverage expense is somehow going to be at certain percentages, so that you will have enough money left over to pay your fixed costs and in the end make a profit. Business model is all about structure. It's about marketing. It's about operations management. It's about finance and accounting. All of those components of your prior classes in business come into play in strategy. The second thing in this module is Chapter 2. Chapter 2, we're talking more about vision and mission statements. These are early components. You saw these before in your Introduction to Management class. Vision is a relatively short statement about what is the overall image that the company wants to project. Vision's a short statement. Mission is a little bit longer interpretation of what the vision statement is. It talks more about who we are. And then the third component of this ultimately is what kind of strategy we develop out of that. That strategy is going to come in the form of objectives, a set of objectives. And one thing I want to introduce here that you see over and over and over in the idea of strategy, and this is the idea of alignment. It's very important in strategy that we have alignment, which means that our vision statement and our mission statement and the objectives that we set to execute our strategy and develop our plan are all going to be consistent. In other words, they're going to be showing similarities across the whole spectrum. The idea of alignment is very important, and ultimately is the way that we ensure that we can execute the strategy consistently across the organization. So the basic strategic development process is we start out with reviewing where we are as a company. Where are we now? The second question is, where do we want to go? And the third question is, how do we get there? So all three of these have great strategic implications. Analyzing where we are now is a complicated process, and we will be doing that more in chapters 3 and 4. Where do we want to go? This is about opportunities that we have in the marketplace, about where we want to take our business in terms of growth and profitability, and markets that we participate in, customers that we seek. And how do we get there? This is the third question, and this specifically speaks to our strategic plan. What is our plan to get from where we are now to where we need to be as an organization? Anyway, I hope this introduction helps. What you should do is do your learning exercises for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. They're very interactive. They're very helpful. You do get points for doing both of those. And then proceed on to do the chapter tests, which are included in this module, and finally the assignment. Every once in a while in one of these modules you'll see something else that I put in there, such as a web assignment, which is a YouTube video that you should go and watch because it supplements the material included in the module. So good luck and get going.